In the early 1920s, there was a great revival taking place across the nation of Australia. Smith Wigglesworth, one of the greatest evangelists of the modern age, was holding revival meetings in major cities across the country. Thousands of people would gather where they could to hear the life-changing message of Jesus. Multitudes were being saved, the sick were being healed, and dead things were coming to life. This was revival. One night, Wigglesworth gathered with several leaders from around the city. In a conversation with two of the men, Wigglesworth encouraged them to plant a new church. This prophetic moment pioneered the Pentecostal movement in Sydney. Here, a future was spoken and a church was birthed. A church full of God's power, a church full of God's presence. This church was our church. In the first 50 years of the church's life, the foundations were being laid. We moved around the city, gathered where we could. Then the time came to put a stake in the ground. In 1955, we bought our first piece of land, laid our first brick, and built our first building. This set the church up to be all that it is today. Over the following era, our church began to focus on building a powerful worship culture while expanding our impact and reach through mission projects around the world. The following decade saw us move into a season of church planting. 23 senior pastors and 15 churches were released around the city and the globe. In this time, leaders were raised, lives were transformed, and the gospel was on the move. As we approach 100 years of history in this great church, we honor our heritage. We honor the sacrifice of those who came before us. This church was birthed in revival. It has pioneered revival, and its future is in revival. Revival means death to life. It's a pulse, it's a surge, it's a shift. It brings new hope, it brings new vision, and it brings new life. As we were birthed in revival, we shall continue in revival. There are more people to reach, more leaders to raise, more lives to change. The greatest songs are yet to be sung. The largest cities are yet to be reached. The biggest moves are yet to be had. God is calling each of us to rise for such a time as this. We are called, we are chosen, we are anointed, we are purposed. We are Revive.